I was just looking through your IMDb profile, and I'm sure you're aware of this, but I was not in terms of the sheer number. You've had almost 80 projects in the last 12 years since you started in Hollywood. I mean, do you ever get any sleep?
Yeah, it would seem like I don't, but I do, actually. It's felt pretty seamless. Like, I never feel totally crazy. But yeah, I looked at my page once recently, too, because I hadn't in so long, and I was like, holy buckets, like, that's a lot. I've been busy.
And so your latest role is in The Descendants, and obviously that's getting quite a lot of critical acclaim and buzz leading up to the awards season. Tell us about how you came upon that role.
Well, it was pretty average. I guess I got a call to audition for it. I auditioned for Alexander Payne. I guess it was a little over a year ago. It was right before Christmas break, and I read the script, which I don't know if I was allowed to or not, but sometimes they sneak me a copy anyway. So I read the script, I went in, and I met with Alexander. He was at my audition, and I was so nervous. He is the one director, when I saw Citizen Ruth, when I was studying acting but wasn't really sure I wanted to be an actor, I thought I would just go to grad school and do something dumb. But when I saw Citizen Ruth, I was like, I have to work with this man. And so going into the room for the audition for me was like payoff enough, because I got to meet Alexander Payne and I got to act for him, even though it was just an audition. And then it was the most insane thing when I got back from Christmas vacation that there was he'd left me a message on my cell phone, which I saved still. It's been like a year and a half, almost 2 years, and I have that saved, that I got the part. So that was insane. That was like one of the best days of my life. And then I was terrified, because then I knew I had to actually do it. And
Well, now hardly anybody in the whole world has seen this film yet as we record this interview. Who do you play in the film?
So George Clooney's wife is in a coma, and he finds out that she's been having an affair, and I play the wife of the man that George's wife was sleeping with.
Mm-hmm.
So it's awkward for him, obviously. Awkward for me when I meet him. I don't really understand why he keeps coming around. But then there's, we all kind of figure it out. The chips all get laid out on the table. I don't know if that's the right expression, but we figure it all out, and then we have like a really, to me it's a really tough scene.
And just reading some of the early reviews, they've been really, really positive, and especially even for you, Judy, you've been singled out by the New York Times, and that must be a wonderful feeling to read things like that.
It was so trying to get singled out by the New York Times. I mean, I was really shocked when I got that email forwarded to me, and working with George is amazing. It's my second time working with him. I'd done Three Kings with him like years ago when I was just a kid. Like, I had just moved to LA and got this insanely great role in a movie and met him, and then like I left. Also, Shailene is so amazing. She's going to be like, I think, our next great, I hope, movie. She's so brilliant and talented, and it was so fun to work with her and like Amara and Nick, and yeah, I mean, it was really like the scenes. I wasn't in a lot of scenes, but the scenes I was in, I felt so connected to, and I think it was because everyone was so perfectly cast, and I think that's where Alexander Payne, one of the great things about him as a director is he casts his films like it's just so interesting, the people he chooses to play the roles. Yeah. And everyone feels really authentic.
I was surprised, but then I remembered that his last film was Sideways, which was 7 years ago, 2004.
That was a long time ago.
He won an Oscar for that. What's it like working with him specifically, and how is it different for you as an actor when you get to work for somebody that's the director but also the writer, so they really know the words on the page better than a director that does not write their own work?
I tend to try to just trust. I like to. I don't know. I don't pretend every director has written the script, but I like to think that they're the ones that are in control of the story that's being told. So So I never really differentiate between writers who've written the script and writers who haven't. I mean, I think, like, with Alexander, like, he's such an amazing talent that I respected him completely, and not just because of the writing or the directing. And but I trusted him so much. Like, sometimes I work new or maybe not as experienced, and it's not so much the Academy Awards that Alexander has that made me trust him. It's like the way he commands the set, the way he talks to us actors, what he expects of us, how he directed me, how he got me to a place I needed to be, which, I auditioned for this part, and by the time I shot my scene, it was like, 5 months later, and I had to recreate what I've done in my audition, and that's like a great director who can help me do that, who can talk me through that and get me back to that place.
It's such an emotional film. A lot of people have talked about how it really brings out some emotions in people watching it that perhaps are not expected from an Alexander Payne film. And I'm wondering, when you're making a film like that, what's it like on the set? Does it permeate through the whole cast and crew, or is it kept really light? I mean, it's probably a generalization to say they're all like that, but what was it like filming a film like this?
Well, I never felt he's so fun, and so is George. I never felt like I was shooting a drama or a comedy. I never felt like I was like aiming for a certain genre. I felt like every day was a different day. But the mood on set, to me, was fun and light, and like that we're going to have fun. Even in those dramatic scenes, it was like everyone was really respectful of the times when we needed to be quiet and be calm and let actors act. But for the most part, lunch was always fun. It was amazing to be in Hawaii. People brought their surfboards to work and would surf at lunchtime. And, like, I don't know, I think we were all pretty grounded. It was a story that felt like about real people. I don't know. I'm probably not explaining it well. It felt like a really safe, easy, fun environment to work in. And that always starts, at the top down. Like, with Alexander, he's, like, calm, he's cool, he's in control. And that's just how it always felt. It never felt like dramatic or too funny or anything. It felt real, which is, I think, what the movie felt like to me when I saw it the first time.
Hawaii, shooting in Hawaii, George Clooney, Alexander Payne, they didn't pay you on top of all that, did they?
I know. I actually sent them a check recently. No, I know. That was pretty crazy. I was really happy I'd already worked with George Clooney, because I think had I not worked with George, like, meeting and working with George Clooney and Alexander Payne would have probably been too much for me. Like, I would have been way too nervous on set. But it helps sometimes if you have to cry if you're nervous.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, Judy, another show making headlines lately has been 2.5 Men, and you've been guest starring. You're Ashton's ex-wife on the show, the person that causes him to move into this big house in Malibu. What's it been like being on that show as a guest star?
It's been so fun. I have a really fun episode coming up. I think if it's not this Monday, they've let me do some really cool stuff. And being with Ashton, he produced a television show I did a few years ago called Misguided. I get really nervous about being too starstruck when I'm at work. Especially if I'm supposed to be breaking up someone. But he's been great. The energy on set has been so fun, because I think everyone's just so relieved that they have a job again, And, like, when we were running lines one day before a taping, Angus came in, like, a few seconds late, and Ashton was like, "Thanks for showing up," and Angus was like, "Thanks for saving our show." It was so cute. Everyone laughed so hard. It was like a bunch of it was just a really sweet thing that he verbalized, because I think everyone was thinking it.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Well, back onto the Descendants, Judy. All the Oscar bloggers and people in the know are saying that it is the film to beat at the moment. It's right up there for Oscar contention. All the other awards. It's going to be like an avalanche of awards now. So, are you prepared? Are you ready for the journey ahead to promote this movie and your part in it?
Yeah, I mean, bring it, definitely. I feel lucky to I'm not just saying that, I really, truly feel lucky to even be a part of it. It was a dream come Alexander Payne, and like anything that comes after that for me or for the movie, like, I mean, I can't even imagine. I can't even wrap my mind around it yet. But every time I talk to someone, like I just talked to a publicist in New York who had just seen a screening this morning, and she was like, I'm not even ready to talk yet. Like, saw the movie, and I couldn't even talk yet. And I knew what the whole thing was about. Like, I read the book and the script was in it. And it's just so, like, it's cool to be a part of something so beautiful. I love all the jobs I've had. I love each of them, but this is a really special thing, and I am excited for everyone to finally get to see it, because it's been talked about so much now.
Mm-hmm.
Well, congratulations on that and all the roles you've had throughout your career, and I hope you do enjoy this award season. I've heard from other people, it is a lot of work going to all these dinners, and parties, and events, but a lot of people would like to have that kind of job with that.
Yeah, I'm really just trying every second to be super grateful in case it never happens again.
Well, thank you and good luck, and thanks a lot for your time today.
Yeah, thanks for having me on. I'm really flattered. Thanks, you guys. Bye.